Hello and welcome to a day in the life of a college lecturer. And it's summer and I'm actually not teaching this month. I'm not teaching until July, but this is more of like a day in the life of a college lecturer who has a side hustle because I have some business things that I have to do today, and I'm gonna take you along with me, show you what I'll be working on this summer. But the first thing I need to do today is like email correspondence. Like I have some emails that I need to return, as well as emails that I need to send. And so that I don't forget about what I need to do, I'm gonna make a to-do list because I always start my day with a to-do list, but this to-do list is gonna be different. This to-do list is just emails that I need to send. So I'm gonna take some time, think about what emails I need to send today, and then start working on those. Okay, so I have my list done and I have 4 emails that I need to send, and you know me, a task list is not a task list without subtasks. So I like broke down what all I need to send in the emails. So the first one is for my McNair program. So if you don't know, I was actually a McNair scholar when I was in undergrad, and the Ronald McNair program is for first generation students, underrepresented students, to like teach them about grad school. They do a summer research program, they learn about the GRE and all of these things in hopes for their students to go to grad school with the ultimate goal of getting a terminal degree like a PhD. And I actually achieved the goal of the McNair program. And also, you know, online I talk about grad school and time management in grad school, so it's just a perfect fit for me to work with the McNair program again. And so since 2020 I've been hosting this summer program for McNair scholars called Grad School Prep for McNair Scholars, where I like walk them through the process of applying to grad school, but within the context of like time management. So all along I'm teaching the time management, organization, and productivity skills that they'll need in grad school, which you also need those same things when you're applying for grad school. So the program started today. I sent out the first email today, so I need to email the McNair directors and like give them a link to the email for any student who hasn't signed up yet. They can get all of the details. So that is the first thing that I'm gonna work on, and then I'll update you as I continue working. Okay, the first email is done, and therefore I have checked it off of my to-do list. The next email that I need to send, I'm actually scheduling these emails. 2 of them is for my focus program. So I have an accountability program for graduate students, and every month we do a monthly planning session where we set new goals, and we set 3 main goals, and then we kind of work through my project management framework for grad students and academics, and then we come up with like a daily schedule for ourselves. And so the ones in the summer are particularly fun because our schedules are like not as structured, so it's up to us to decide how we're gonna spend our time. And so I think these planning sessions are like really valuable. Normally they are on the last Saturday of each month at 1 p.m. Eastern. However, this past Saturday I was celebrating my mom's 60th birthday. We went to the beach in Destin and it was so much fun, so I had to miss our planning session. So we're doing it today, the last day of May, so it's May 31st. So I'm not sure how many people we'll have, but hopefully a couple people will be able to join me. I always send out the recording if anyone missed it. So what I need to do is schedule a couple emails. The first email is like the 1-hour warning saying, we're starting our planning session in 1 hour. Here's the link. I can't wait to see you soon. And then the other email that I need to schedule is the 5-minute warning. Basically, I'm here on Zoom now, come join me, let's get the planning done. So let me go into my email software. So I use ConvertKit for emails, and I'm gonna schedule the emails for my focus members. Okay, so today's planning session is going to be a little interesting because I'm getting a new desk and it's being delivered. And the time interval where they said they would deliver it, my planning session is in that time interval. And that wasn't always the case. I scheduled this last week and my desk was supposed to be delivered last week as well. I can't remember what day. However, the desk was damaged, so they had to take it back, and over the weekend they were like, we're sending it on this date, and I was like, sure. And then yesterday they sent me the time and I was like, oh no, it's during my session. So what would be awesome is if they are early like they were last time, and I can get the desk set up before my session begins, or they come after my session ends. And I always use like my desktop to do this, but what I think I'm gonna end up having to do is use my laptop and just sit at my kitchen table, and therefore this room can be prepped for them to set up the desk, and I can just continue with my planning session while they put it together. So I think that is what I'm gonna do. All right, so let me check this off of my to-do list. Done. So one of the schools, one of the McNair programs that is doing my summer program that starts today, we had to like do some like extra things for them, so they weren't able to get signed up until like last week, and so I need to send them the quote for my services. So that's what I'm gonna do next, and then I'm gonna go ahead and send the last email, but I'll update you on what that is all about. Okay, I just finished my last email. Let me check it off the list. So this email was a little different. It was about a summer program that I participated in. So at my school, there's a summer program called the Active Learning Summer Institute, and the purpose of the program is for professors, lecturers, instructors to participate and redesign a course that they're teaching so that it implements active learning techniques, which just means like it's not just the professor speaking at the students are actively participating in their own learning, and it can be really scary to do. So it's really awesome that my school had this program that they're still running. Like my school has this whole initiative where we're dedicated to active learning, and I love that because I think active learning is so helpful in learning mathematics. When I was in grad school and first learned that active learning existed and I didn't have to just stand in front of the class for 75 minutes and talking at them, my whole life changed, my teaching changed. Like I felt like my students were able to actually learn in class instead of just furiously taking notes and then trying to figure it out themselves after class. I participated in this program in like the first cohort in 2018 or 19. Maybe 18 actually. It was pretty early in my career, and I redesigned pre-calculus because I found that my students, you know, they had taken pre-calculus before. Most high school students take pre-calculus in high school. So I didn't need to teach the material as if it was new to them. They just had small misconceptions that they needed to work through and that needed to be addressed. And so I redesigned the class, so I flipped it. I did like short little videos introducing the concepts that they would watch before class. In class, I do a brief little recap, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then I just have them work. They have workbooks that I created, they're working in groups, and I'm just walking around answering questions. My upstairs neighbor is vacuuming. I walk around answering questions and like addressing the misconceptions and any big things that I notice that a lot of students have. We'll go to the board. I have them writing on the board. We have nice active learning classrooms at our school where the boards all the way around the room, and students can go up to the board with their group, work through their problems, blah, blah, blah. Often I'm asked to come back and speak to the new ALSE participants. So this summer I'll be speaking to them. And so this year they asked for a headshot as well as some information to share with the participants to give them a little context on who's speaking. So I wanted to share those questions with you. Maybe you're teaching and maybe you're interested in active learning and you want to learn about what I learned. Okay, so the first question was, what ALSE concept and or skill have you used the most? So we learned a lot of concepts and skills. It was like a 3 or 4 week program that we met like every day for like 4 hours. It was very intense. We learned a lot. But the thing that I think I used the most is TILT, T-I-L-T, transparency in learning and teaching. It's basically the concept that that you can use with your students so that you're not just giving them an assignment and having them decide if it's important to them or not, or having them decide how it fits in the context of the class and have them confused about why they're doing it and not paying much attention to it, not reading instructions. Basically, it's up to us as instructors to be very clear on like the purpose of this assignment. Why am I having you do this? It's not busy work. How does it fit in with the context of our class? What's expected of you? When this concept was introduced, I used it to create a very specific assignment. So I created an assignment that was an exam reflection. So after their exams, they would answer these questions about like, how did they study? Did they feel prepared? Were any of the questions surprising? What would you do differently for the next test? I like made it like a tilt thing. So I was very clear on the purpose of it. And then I realized I need to be doing this like always. It needs to permeate throughout my whole class. So everything in my class, I let the students know why it's important. How does it fit in the context of the class? What is expected of them? And then we do like a debrief. Well, how did this go? Did you actually get out of it what you were supposed to get out of? So that is the first question. I got kind of long. All right, so the next one is, what is my most meaningful ALSE memory? So for me, it was at the very end of the program. So we learned a lot of different active learning techniques and pedagogies. Our task was to choose a lesson and do some type of active learning activity, and we had to practice giving a sample lecture to the other participants. And so I chose to do like the first day activity that I wanted to do for my class. And I'm so glad I did that because I was able to like practice it. And you know, the first day is you're always a little nervous and you're not quite sure what to expect, how long things are gonna take. So it was really nice that I was able to practice doing that and figure out like, how long is this assignment gonna take? What kind of instructions do I need to give so that it's clear what we're doing? So I was able to work out some of the kinks with the group first before implementing it in my class. And I thought that was really helpful and very important. All right, so what was the biggest surprise after redesigning my class? I actually was very surprised at how much my students loved the redesign. They told me that they felt like they learned a lot. They wished other professors taught classes like me, but also they appreciated the structure. Like, my class is very structured. They know exactly what they're gonna do every single day. They know exactly what is expected of them, so they're never guessing, and they really appreciated that. And something that was also surprising was that the structure kind of like permeated throughout their daily like schedules. So they would have a specific date and time when they would work on like homework and videos for my class, and so they were able to structure like the rest of their homework around when they were doing my class, and so they weren't like doing things at the last minute, forgetting about assignments. And so when students told me that they like used my class to help them prepare for other classes, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love that. What was your greatest triumph? Well, it was that after I implemented my redesign, I also had a postdoc implementing. He asked, he was like, can I do this too? I was like, yeah, I would love to have someone else test this out with me. So he did it with me. And it was successful for both of our classes. I don't think I failed any students that semester. I had mostly A's, some B's, and a few C's, which is really, really good. That class, pre-calculus, surprisingly, it has a lot of fails, withdrawals, and drops. It's a really hard class for students. But I didn't have any students fail that semester, so that was awesome. And then the person who teaches the grad students how to teach, he was like, let's just have the grad students do this. So the grad students implemented my materials, and then after that, everyone else who was teaching pre-calculus started implementing my materials as well. And so I'm at a really big school, but we have this really small class size initiative. So every pre-calculus class has 19 students or less, which means we have a lot of sections. So there's sometimes for like 60 sections of pre-calculus, and everyone's using my materials, which is really, really cool. And then finally, what words of wisdom do I have for like the newest cohort? And I guess for anyone, it's like, always keep in mind the goal of your class, or like the learning outcome of your class. What is the purpose of this class? Where are your students in their academic journey? Why do they even need the class? And so based on that, you can use that to inform what you do in your class and how you redesign your class. It's all based on what is the purpose of this class? And you don't want to have the students do extra if it's not necessary, and you don't want to have them do too little if the class is like really important in their academic journey. So you want to make sure that you're in that like sweet spot, keeping in mind the goals. Keeping in mind where your students are is going to be super important. Okay, let me check the time. It is 11:41. I have a little over an hour before my planning session with my focus accountability students. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to clear off my desk, my current desk, and move things out of the way so that the movers, or not the movers, the furniture people can come in and put up my new desk while I'm doing my planning session. Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna chill, and then planning session. Okay, I'm back. I am now at my like kitchen dining area. It's not as aesthetic, but I think this will be best so that I hopefully will not be interrupted as badly when the people come. So far, I haven't gotten a word from my delivery people, so it may be likely that they come after the planning session is over, and so I hope that happens. I always like to plan on paper, so I have paper. There's someone in the group who made a Notion template for our planning session, so some students use the Notion template, some students use a Google Doc. I like paper, pens. I got some zebra mount liners that I use to like, after the brain dump part of our planning session, we choose 3 goals that we want to focus on for the month. And so I usually use highlighters to highlight the goals and go from there. So we'll get started in about 10 minutes. So I'm excited to see who joins me today. It's always a good time. And I always love learning about like what everyone's working on, how many people are taking classes this summer, who's working on their research, who's doing writing, all kinds of things. So I will update you. It was so much fun. I went to the beach with my mom. So my mom lives in Mississippi. And I'm in Georgia, so we came from different directions to the beach. We went to Destin, Florida, and it was relaxing too. I don't feel like stressed out from the vacation. So that was good. What about you? How was your weekend? All right, so I just finished my planning session. It was so great. I had 3 students join me, which is awesome, especially since I had to change the date, and it was nice because I got to chat with them a little bit, and I'm excited about their summer plans. So in the session, I have these like 6 components of a nourishing daily routine, and so I have them come up with a daily routine for themselves for the month, and usually I say, you know, it may not be every day that you can get all 6 in. But it's summer now, and the people that were there are not taking classes this summer. They're just doing research and stuff, and they were actually able to create a schedule where they can do all 6 of the components of the nourishing daily routine. So I'm super excited about that. For me, something I'm excited to add to my routine is I'm gonna spend the mornings between like 9:30 and 11 working on a new project. So I've just felt like really like inspired and like really creative and like wanting to blog again. But I want to do more personal blogging, and so it'll be more about my life as an academic, teaching, business, stuff like that. So it's gonna be a whole new website, and I'm excited to build that, and I can take you guys on the journey of building that new like personal brand. So I'm excited about that. I think I'm done working for the day. It is 2:19 p.m. So I think I'm just gonna chill, watch a little TV. I haven't decided what I'm gonna watch. I've watched the first season of 2 old shows. But they're so good, which is not a hot take because everyone knows they're good. One show that I started watching last week is The Sopranos, and I am really enjoying it. It is very funny to me, which, I mean, it's not a hot take. Everyone knows that show is great, but I'm excited to like finally watch it, and I'm enjoying that. So I watched the first season of that. I also started a couple days ago and finished the first season of Misfits, which is a pretty great show as well. So I have to decide which show am I gonna watch season 2 of today. And then later on this evening, I'll be taking some dance classes, and I'm looking at the schedule now. I realized I signed up for 3 dance classes today at 6, 7, and 8. I don't know if it'll be wise to do 3 dance classes after doing kickboxing this morning, but they're so fun. I don't want to miss out on them. At 6 o'clock, it's Studio Sizzle, which is like a workout dance class. Then we got Jazz Funk. That's like my go-to dance class. I love Jazz Funk. Like, think Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, like that kind of music, but dancing to it. And then the last one is music video hip hop, which is really cool. It's where we like take a popular music video and we recreate the dance. So I think the next 3 weeks is gonna be Beyonce Single Ladies, and I don't wanna miss that. So I'll have to let you know if I decided to do all 3 dance classes or skip one. But anyway, I'll end the video here. I hope that you enjoyed this day in the life of a college lecturer, summer edition. I hope to do more of these and like take you along the process of how I'm spending my summers. So thanks so much for watching. I will talk to you next time. Bye.